Hello everybody and welcome back. Today I'm going to be making brownies. I'm going to be making them with a little bit of a difference. These are going to be gluten-free and also sugar-free. So in this pan here that I'm stirring, you will need 150 grams of butter. You will need 30 grams of sweetener. Now I'm using sucralose, but you can use stevia, you can use whatever you like. And you will also need the zest of 2 oranges. So what we're going to do, just going to stir this until everything dissolves over a gentle heat. I'm just going to turn that down just a little bit. There we go, that's it. And what we're going to do, once that has all dissolved, is we're going to add our chocolate. Now, I'm using dark chocolate. This is 100% pure dark chocolate. The reason I'm using that is because there's no sugar in it. It's basically fat and cocoa powder, basically. So it will go great here for this recipe. Okay, so I've just added my chocolate, and all we're going to do with this is just stir this until it all melts and becomes lovely and incorporated, and you can't see any of the sweetener, any of the butter, anything like that just coming through. And this has got a lovely rich orange smell because we added two oranges worth of zest there, so that's quite a lot, but I think it really does need it because this chocolate is very, very bitter. Okay, now that our chocolate, sweetener and butter have melted, we just let them cool for a few minutes before we add our eggs. And we're adding 3 large eggs. However, I don't think I mentioned the amount of sweetener I used. I've used 30 grams, but you can add more or less depending on how sweet you want this to taste. So what we're going to do, we're going to add our eggs now. Okay, so I've now added my eggs. I'm just going to really quickly whisk this in and incorporate it until it is all nice and smooth. And what you'll notice will happen is this mixture will really thicken up, and it will become almost more like cake batter, like so. There we are. Now just keep stirring this, it will come together. It doesn't look very promising at the moment, but I promise you it will come together. Now this is giving off a lovely, rich, chocolatey smell. This is absolutely fantastic. And the orange zest is really coming through. It really is. Anyone that loves Terry's chocolate oranges will absolutely love this. Okay, now that our ingredients are combined, what we're going to do is we're going to add in, now this is oat flour. Now this is 175 grams of oat flour and half a teaspoon of baking soda. Now if you can't get oat flour, don't worry, just buy normal porridge oats and just blend them down. All I did was put them in a NutriBullet and just blend them until they become, well, like just powder, like flour really. And then just mix that in until it is all nice and smooth. Okay, now that our mixture has combined, I'm going to put this into a 8-inch tin. I've got one here. Unfortunately mine is round. If you can get a square one would probably work better, but that's what I've got, unfortunately. So this is just, the tin has just been lined with baking parchment and a tiny amount of vegetable oil just to help the mixture stop sticking. Okay, our cake is now ready to go into the oven. This is going into a preheated oven at 180 degrees centigrade for about 25 minutes, but I will check on it halfway through just to make sure how it's doing. Okay, so my brownie is now out of the oven and it's been in for about 20 minutes. All I'm going to do now is just check it with a skewer. Yep, that is come out clean, so that's good. And all we're going to do, we're just now going to leave this here on the side, leave it in the cake tin, let it cool in the cake tin, and we're going to leave it for 2 or 3 hours just to let it cool down, and we'll come back and taste it. Hello everybody and welcome back. It's now the next day and I left this overnight just to cool down, so it's completely cold now. I'm just going to go ahead and give this a bit of a taste. Now, if you're making this yourself, I would suggest not cooking it for quite as long, because this is more of a cake texture rather than a brownie. I think it probably needed a bit less time in the oven. It's very dense. There's lots of flavour and it's quite moist in the middle, but I think it needs a little bit less cooking. Either that or double your ingredients. That's a little bit disappointing, but maybe it's one to revisit on another day. I'll adjust the recipe a little bit and maybe we'll try this again. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Stay safe, take great care, and I'll see you next time.